Welcome back, Rich Nation. My name is AJ, and today we're going to be watching another My Hero Academia Season 3. We watched a filler last episode, kind of the lead into the movie. So we are kind of back. It feels weird going from like kind of 180ing the story. Now we're back. They're going to be doing the rescue mission. The end part of the test, we saw Class 1A just kind of combined and be kind of all be connecting heroes that actually like put out the effort and succeed. We saw all Class 1A actually get through the test, which I loved and I didn't expect. But now we're gonna go further in. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button. Go follow me on Twitter at ajrich123, as well as check out my Patreon, patreon.com/ajrich123 for full reactions and early releases. I would appreciate that. And let's go ahead and start. 3 weeks earlier.
Balls. Sounds more like a game than an examination. Is it too easy?
You're not seeing the bigger picture. The real test is how they handle the ensuing chaos.
See, there's all these higher up people kind of dictating how the schooling goes too. Or, well, their tests. Not the schooling, their tests.
Teamwork, huh? All right.
It's necessary.
They've been doing teamwork though.
People loved All Might not just for his strength, but for his personality.
So they want people to have personality?
The number 2 hero is no replacement. We should fill the hole he has left with an army of heroes boasting a strong sense of unity and camaraderie. And the exam now reflects that goal.
What happened?
Tell me.
Yep, and then the villain.
Can you rescue people and fight at the same time?
Game Orca fought alongside Endeavor and Best Genus.
Very interesting they're using somebody that was in that situation.
We're gonna have to save people and battle?
Are you serious? Jeez, come on!
That's normal hero stuff.
Even for a pro, this would be difficult.
Oh, they're trying to find the next All Might, so they're going over the top.
Not good.
Right by all those hurt kids and old people? That's so mean!
We still have a lot of bystanders to rescue, but we can't just ignore the villains.
I know.
Huck evaluates whether or not someone's acting properly during their rescue. For example, if the examinee has put themselves in a position to best use their quirk, who are grading each person individually based on the scoring manual and the examinee's background.
I mean, that is really thorough. Seriously, when you think about it.
Below 50 points.
Get them as far away from the village as possible.
Oh yeah, now they're gonna have to team up with the other ones too.
Away at the henchmen at 1 second intervals.
Yep.
You weren't expecting that.
Nice try. A single rear guard to hold us back?
That
You underestimated me.
you have way too many people. You should be going all out.
Even on land.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. He's not just a land or just a sea hero. He can fight in land too.
Midoriya, are you evacuating? We'll help. Yorozu and Asui stayed behind to search for survivors, but we couldn't stand by and watch these villains do this.
So this test is very leaning towards teaming up. You have to group up and team up with not just your own class, but everybody on the field to make this work. Especially with the villain, you have to cooperate and stuff, and which was not utilized really as much in the last test, which was really focused more on individuals and people that you knew. So this really helps them kind of build up. Because sometimes you're going to have to team up with maybe people you don't normally team up with. So that definitely helps in this type of situation.
Guess I know why he's number 10.
This wind. I'm gonna blow you evildoers away!
I swear, he's so powerful for... If there was someone that reminds me of All Might's, like, personality and attitude, he would be it. Right? Like, if we're going off personality.
Of course you're here too. I just can't help but hate both of you. That's my line. Everything you say is a distraction.
Does Todoroki have a actual rival here? Like an All Might and Endeavor rivalry?
Because he didn't fall to my ice earlier. You ruined my shot on purpose, didn't you? using your wind to blow away my fire.
This is not gonna work good on a
So you get all
test.
the glory. What?
It's making it
Why would I do
worse.
something like that? What the hell has been up with you this whole time? My old man's got nothing to do.
Oh, you can't do that in real situations like this.
To me, heroes should be full of passion. They bring hope and inspiration to people with the fire burning in their hearts. They care.
Ooh.
At the entrance exam, I saw you, and I knew who you were immediately. Because when I said hello,
You're in the way.
He's changed more so now, though.
Don't be ridiculous.
He did kind of look like that in the beginning, but meeting Deku, fighting Deku.
I'm nothing like him. He doesn't really know me. I have to focus on the test.
This is where improvement shows.
I have no feelings about my old man anymore. There is still some hate inside me.
Ooh.
Damn it.
He still has it there. It's making him regress. Oh, shit.
When you've done nothing.
Understand? Now move!
Damn.
You'll be incinerated.
Oh, shit. Good timing, Deku. Yeah, it's kind of crazy now that we think about it. We're so used to Todoroki being very level-headed now. Like, for a good season, he's been very level-headed. I mean, he played the opposite to Ida when Ida was going crazy and kind of having that evilish kind of turn and hate. So it feels like an eternity since we've seen Todoroki kind of go down that path again. And with somebody hating his father like this, it makes him kind of regress a little bit, that he knows that the hate's still there. It's hard to fully have that disappear when it's never been fully resolved. So he's kind of in a spot where, when somebody's shouting at you about this type of stuff, it's hard. And I'm glad Deku, just like the first time, just like how he changed, Deku is there to kind of keep things straight. And I feel like he'll be able to keep him on the same path. But Todoroki being able to, not be insanely, possessed with these thoughts and hate for his father and stuff like that is a miracle on its own, and probably wouldn't have been done without Deku's help. So I'm really, I feel good. I feel like Todoroki will be fine, but it's good Deku's there for sure.
I could find reasons to like just about anything. That's why. The minute I understood what a hero was, I knew what I was going to be when I grew up.
He's so passionate.
Rescuing people, which is why I couldn't understand him. Endeavor, who had eyes that seemed to hate everything they saw.
He really does come off like a villain.
I couldn't stand.
Understandable reaction, right?
The best hero school in Japan. The most passionate training I could hope for is waiting for me.
So this is when he was doing his training, or when he was doing his test.
Then maybe I can become friends with him, and his eyes won't bother me anymore.
I mean, he has a lot of positive thoughts.
Wowza! Number 41 finishes first by a hair!
One! But who knows what'll happen next time? You were amazing! I'm guessing you must be.
And this is
Yandere,
before-
right? That's so awesome!
Shut up.
Saying oh, he said the wrong thing.
Just came here to pass a stupid test, that's all. You're in my way.
It's like he hates something that isn't even here.
He saw him beforehand. Now both their attitudes make sense. I love that flashback. It's making them look really bad.
Why didn't I remember him? He's so loud and obnoxious.
Because all he was thinking about was his
Guess I
father.
wasn't really seeing him back
He was
then.
full of hate and one-sided track
I
thinking.
just needed to reject that bastard. I can't just bury them or forget about them.
You can't. You have to use them both to your advantage. Do villains jump up and down like that? Oh my god.
I can't control it.
This is what would happen if they couldn't team up correctly and together.
He was too far away. He's not done yet.
How did I become
everything I hated. I'm in this mess because of my own actions. I have to fix this.
Maybe they can work together well.
Well, my extremities are still pretty numb, but I'll bounce back. Sound waves aren't that bad. Not much different from my vibrations. So I've built up a pretty good tolerance to them.
Oh.
Might be the first time I've been thankful for that recoil. Trip the henchmen! Now you make sure they're out
So
of the
aggressive.
game. We'll split up and get the remaining injured to the shelter. Right!
Now then.
Our quirks aren't compatible, and we have zero teamwork. There's no way we can beat a top hero.
Think of this. Deku and Bakugo, kind of in the same boat, rivals. Their quirks don't necessarily work well together, but they're able to. We saw them take on All Might, right? Let's think of that in the same scenario. Their quirks might not work well. They have, obvious tension between each other, but they need to work together the same way. That's what they need to do.
Rise up! Come on, work with me. I'm so numb that I can't put much into my quirk. But I have to do this!
Hell yes.
With fire and wind, we'll trap you!
See, great. A hidden good combo.
Can't even move his body. Todoroki can't move either, but he's adding his raw power to Yoarishi's attack. This won't make up for their foolishness earlier, but it's not a bad start. I have to admire their persistence.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can fix mistakes.
What kind of fire tornado?
Isn't that bad? He's an orca, so he's super weak when he gets dried out. Forget the wind, stop the flames!
If I could only use both sides at the same time. Switching slows me down. I need to practice more. When I can't
That would be great.
my speed doesn't make a difference.
Nice move!
All the classes helping each other.
And reinforcements should be here any minute now.
Looks like almost all of Huck has been rescued.
Sweet, Sue! When did you sneak over here?
I've been training my frog skills, and I've finally reached a new level of control. Camouflage. That's my new special move.
Nice, that's sweet. Oh, the unlimited hair.
She gets you high.
That's got to be hard to tame and maintain. That's the right word. So much hair.
An ordinary villain would give up, would weep, and beg your mercy.
But he's not playing an ordinary villain.
Your desperate trap was not enough.
Is it a fucking water bottle?
Be planning your next move. What now?
What do you do after that point? Next step.
No! Get away from those two!
They got other people too, though.
Yeah, so at this time, all of the Huck members who were deployed have been rescued from the disaster zone.
And that was the goal.
Really? He might have had a hard time if the test went on. Even lost.
They combined it very good. That's a good sign.
We were evaluating you based on how few mistakes you made in a crisis situation.
Individually, everybody? That's tough.
The names of those who passed are listed here in alphabetical order.
Midoriya!
I would assume he did. Okay, this was actually very interesting, and I think, going from like a filler episode that has nothing to do with the story to this was actually kind of a weird, it kind of took me out of the story a little bit. So it took me a second to get back into it, but they were rescuing people. They were, trying to pass this test. But I love that they brought back the way Todoroki's anger, like it showed Todoroki in back to how he used to be. And it shows like you can't really bury your past. You have to live with your past and grow from it. And I think he knows that there's still a little bit of anger towards his father, and maybe that'll never go away, but he's able to move forward. And I love that he had tension with people. That was actually kind of a cool thing. I loved the back and forth that they had. I think not only him, but a couple other people that they showed during this test, I think they have high potential to be great heroes. I mean, there's a lot of people that could, make up and maybe surpass how All Might was, and kind of because they see, like, all the higher ups don't see Todoroki's dad Endeavor being the replacement, which probably makes Endeavor be even more pissed, I'm sure. But it's mostly because you need a hero that is inspiring. Though Endeavor's strong and he does save people, he doesn't do it in a way to build up people and to inspire. And for this world to be taken seriously, for the heroes and everything to be taken seriously, you need somebody that is inspiring people, that makes people feel safe. And you need a face of the heroes, I guess. And that's what they're looking for. And I think we saw a lot of that here. And I think, kind of a healthy, we saw some healthy rivalries kind of build. And I think that's something to grow on. I thought that was a very good end of test there. Now, when it comes to passing, my guess is they're gonna pass, I would say, all a 1A, because it would be weird if they didn't at this point, especially since, with the exception of how Todoroki and Todoroki in general, or maybe like 2 or 3 people, everybody else, they did not center on them making mistakes. Like the episode where they were actually saving people, Class 1A was a little bit slower with it because they weren't used to that, but they made up for it. So I would assume that most people are going to pass this, at least characters that we know. But if they failed Todoroki, I would be very, very surprised, especially since they were able to make up. And then, as Orca said, he if they had kept going, he could have lost there, because the combination of those 3 fighting, is along with everybody else, obviously, they weren't going to be able to hold on much longer, meaning there's a lot of potential. I don't see them not giving them the license. So my guess is they're all going to pass, which would be, awesome. And going forward, I think them as first years being able to have their license that early is going to be absolutely helpful in their growing, and they're going to be able to be put into scenarios that they would normally never be able to be put in that young. So that's great. I think this was a good episode. What did you guys think? Do you like this? Did you like this test? I know there were some fillerish episodes in this section, and a lot of you guys said, hey, this wasn't even in the manga, or it was talked about for half a second. Maybe this section was a lot shorter. But I felt overall, with the exception of like one episode, I thought it was a really good arc. Like I thought the arc, they did it very well. I loved the introduction of the new characters. And I hope that they're not forgotten, and I hope they continue being around in some capacity moving forward, because I know when we had the the school arc from season 2, where where they're and doing their first tests and stuff, and they kind of, some of 1B, and then some of the characters weren't shown again. Really, we haven't really seen or talked from, or they've been very, very few and in between. So I kind of hope they don't do that with some of like 2-3 characters that they show. They showed like 4 or 5 a lot during this section. I hope they're not forgotten, because I think they could build. I know there's a lot of characters to deal with, and there's a lot of screen time, not as much screen time to put everybody in, but I would love to see these characters again. What do you think? What was your favorite character that was introduced in this arc? Let me know, and why, in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, smash that like button, go follow me on Twitter at ajrich123, as well as check out my Patreon if you'd like to support me. You like to see early releases and the full reactions of these videos. Check out patreon.com/ajrich123. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.